Hello everybody and welcome to video number 2 in our little series of videos leading into the new year on Jumputi Heroes. Today we are going to be doing a very original idea where we make a tier list of all our favourite legends, well limiteds in the game from 2020 only. We will be including Taiwan characters, however if a character has come out on Taiwan and then been re-released on Japan, we are going to consider the Japanese version of the character. And in this instance, say for example, Shiryu will not appear on this list because he is a limited on Taiwan, but when he came out on Japan, he was not a limited. So we're not going to include Shiryu. And for example, Kurapika, it's not going to be the version of Kurapika that Taiwan got, it's going to be the version Japan got, but there are characters like Kakashi who has only come out on Taiwan. So we will consider that version. And one more thing to say before we start, this is obviously all my opinion. It is not based on the character's genuine in-game abilities. That will be a factor. The in-game abilities will be a factor in the decision, but it's also how much I like the character, how much I like the unit, what I think of the animations and stuff, and just in general what I think of the character, the unit, them in the game. That's what it comes down to. So don't get too bent out of shape if your favourite character's really low or if a unit's really good but they're not very high, because you know I mean it's up to you. It's up to you. And if you want to make your own tier list, I'm going to include a link to this in the description, and you can make one for yourself and you can post it in the comments or on Discord or on Twitter or wherever you want to. And I am interested to see what other people make of some of these characters, because I have a feeling my choices may differ quite significantly from others. We're going to go through these quite quickly. We don't want to take too long. We're going to go through them quite quickly, but I am going to try and justify every decision. So let's start off with... where should we start off? Tanjiro. Straight up tested. This should be obvious for anybody that watches my streams. He's my boy. One of the best units in the game. I love the animations. I love the sprite. He's got such a high clear rate. No brainer for me. Let's move on to... Okay, let's move on to Dio. Dio I'm going to put in S tier as well. I love the animations. I love the sprite. I really wish I had him. He is a double tap. I wish I had him. Out of the double tap units, I think he is my favourite. Let's actually stick the other double tap units in here now. I'm going to put these like B tier. I'm going to put them like B tier for now. They might move. The only thing I will say is... I'll swap them around. Can I swap them around like this? Hold on. Let's do that. The only reason I'm doing it like this, I think Naruto and Sasuke's animations look way better than Goku Vegeta's, especially when sped up. It's very obvious to tell like what's going on, and it still looks very good. Their abilities are great. They're double tap units. Their abilities are great. The only reason I put Dio above is because I just feel like I prefer it as a unit. The double tap thing is a cool idea for the dual units. It makes sense. I just prefer Dio so much more. So much more. And if this was like Vegito or something, then that would be higher. But I think because it's Goku and Vegeta, I kind of don't care that much. I kind of don't care that much. Let's put in someone else. Let's go with Hashirama. I put Hashirama in here. Technically not a limited, but it's not like I can do a tier list for Muso units because there's only one, so I figured I'd include him in this, might as well. You might see my cursor's hovering around here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's really between C and D for me. I'm going to put him in C because I love the animations, and I do think the abilities are good, but the thing I have to factor in here is how expensive he is. I think it's like 24,000 rubies. He is not worth 24,000 rubies. If you want it on record, I'll say it. He is not worth 24,000. When you consider you can get units like Dio and Tanjiro for 8,250, 24k is ridiculous. You could get so many good units for that price. You could pick up a couple of limiteds and a couple of new heroes that are good enough to make out a whole team instead of one. Don't get me wrong, he's a good unit. Not worth 24k. For me, that brings him way down, and I'm tempted to put him down into D. He may even still go down into D. We shall see. let's talk about another unit that's going to be going into D. Kozuki Odin. I'm sorry, I love Odin as a character, but the PvP aspect of his skill, I already was not a fan of. You know, they did that with Deku, and I thought it was cool at the time. It's an old unit, you know. He's like a year older, more than a year older than Odin. And when Deku came out, I thought, oh, okay, it's cool, it's cool. Odin is somehow over a year older, and for me, not as good. Not as good. PvP focus, which I'm not a big fan of. And I'd have to take somebody I like more out of my PvP team to fit him in and to make it work. I just don't vibe with this unit at all. Just at all. Another unit I'm a little bit disappointed in, Suna. I'm going to put him C for now. Just because I love the character, I love the animations. That's why I was so disappointed when it turned out he was PvP focused. But he's at least better than Odin, in my opinion, in PvP. So for that, he manages to squeeze into C tier for now. Let's put in... Okay, so this is an interesting one. Seiya. I think he kind of has to go into S tier. I know I've got 3 units in S tier, but don't worry, it'll all balance out eventually. We'll work it out. Seiya is up there because I love the animations. I love the artwork, the sprite. I've come to quite like the Saint Seiya characters in Jumputi. They have a lot of care and attention put into them. And he is also a fantastic unit. So you've got to tick all the boxes really to be in this top row. So far these 3 units have done that. An example of a unit that maybe doesn't quite do that. Let's see. Somebody who makes A tier. Who makes A tier? Zenitsu. Zenitsu for me, A tier. The only reason I say that, he basically ticks every box that Tanjiro has, except he's just not quite as good. And the reason he's not quite as good is because even though he does, yes, have the Rainbow Bubbles aspect of Tanjiro's abilities, one of the key things Tanjiro can do, you put him in any team, he can just burn, and then you don't have to do anything. You can focus on other stuff, trying to heal, trying to stay alive, trying to get your Legend Summon ready, whatever. With Zenitsu, once you hit that shock, in order to get the most out of that shock, you need to then continue to pop bubbles with him every turn. And that is not as good. It's not as good as Tanjiro. And you can do better damage than Tanjiro, I think, but it just seems a bit silly to me. If we ever get a freeze version of Tanjiro, I'm there. You've got my money. You've got my money. But for Shock and for Cyclone, I don't think it works quite as well. I just don't think it works quite as well. So for that reason, he's in A. Still a fantastic unit. Still love the character. Not quite there. Another character that's in that similar sort of situation is Yuno. I think for now A. Great character. Love the abilities and the special animation. But I was just hoping that he would be the green version of Zenitsu, and he wasn't. Which kind of tempts me to put him down here, but I think actually in the long run it might work out in his favour that he is not the green version of Zenitsu. Just my opinion. Again, that could be way off base, but something to consider. Let's see. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. Muzan has to be in D tier. The only reason I say that is because even though I actually have started using Muzan quite a lot, very good abilities, I think everyone is in agreement that this version of Muzan should not have been the limited. And this version of Muzan should definitely not be the only obtainable version, just because it's a version that appeared in only 2 chapters of the manga. It's not one that engaged in any actual fights with the main cast. It just seems kind of silly to me. It seems like a really weird choice. And especially when we had Butterfly Aizen ready right there, and they made Aizen Standard Gacha and Muzan Limited. You're comparing this version of Muzan to High Dio. This is the version of Dio that came out in the same event. This guy to the version of Muzan that appeared in 2 chapters. No. That can't fly. That can't fly. I'm sorry, it has to be D tier. Let's see. Yamamoto. I'm going to put him in C tier for now. Very good unit. I was just really hoping he would be, like, a bit better. Just a bit better. Because I love Yamamoto as a character. He, potentially for me, could have been the Red Muso. Like, if you talk about Hashirama being the Green Muso, there's no reason Yamamoto couldn't have been the Red Muso and been, like, this disgustingly powerful burn unit. You pay 24,000 rubies and you get this unit that will just burn everything. That sounds great. It's not what we got. He is good. He is usable. Most of these units are perfectly usable in some way or another. But for me, it's not what I wanted him to be. It's not what I wanted for him. Let's go with Athena. I have pulled her on Taiwan and I love her. She is amazing. The fact that she is like our first sort of healer limited, and she really kind of does something interesting with that. It's more like a survivability thing. It's kind of a cool skill set. Buffer / healer sort of thing. Plus, animations are on point. We're finally getting the character added to the game that should have been in the game a long time ago. Look, I can't say much more. I really like the character and I'm happy. This is my only limited. She is my only limited on my Taiwan account. And I happened to get lucky enough that it was such a cool character and a version exclusive character to boot. So, pretty nice. I'm actually going to take... Oh, where does he go? But it's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be S tier. For now. He might move down to A. Potentially. Some of these might move, but... The only reason I say that is because he's really good. He's really good. I really enjoyed playing with him. The only thing I would say is, like, I always find myself undecided on Paint Bubble Limiteds. Because they can be very good, or they can get in your way. You've really got to make decisions on how you're building your team and what stages you're going into with them. But he is very good. So, for now, he is in S tier. Incidentally, in A tier, I'm going to put Ichigo here. For now, the only downside for me for Ichigo, again, the paint bubble thing is kind of a factor here. But I actually I don't know if I like it better on Ichigo or Rengoku. Just because Ichigo makes it for yellow rather than green. Rengoku's making it for red. And the reason that factors in is because if Ichigo is setting up more yellow bubbles, you can make more chains and you can potentially be making more specials without ruining the bubbles you already have on the board. And Rengoku potentially makes your bursts a bit bigger and gives you more red bubbles to burst again with and stuff like that. They both have upsides and downsides when it comes to the paint bubbles, but for me, Ichigo just below here, his sprite is a bit of a letdown. I know it's a cool sprite, but the big like mitten hands and stuff like that, it clearly looks like that he was an older unit that got released for New Year. And then Aizen as well was an older unit, it looks like, based on the sprite design. When you compare him to the newer Ichigo, it's very clear, very clear that this is an older version of the character. And I kind of wish for a character as special as Mugetsu, he would have had like a bit more attention paid to his sprite work. Giorno. This one's really difficult, actually. His artwork, his sprite work, like, yeah, it's good. It's really good. His animations are amazing. I think 7-page Muda is suited to be a limited. I'm selling in B, I think. The only thing for me is A, I feel like they messed us about a little bit having a version of Giorno. Like, with all the other JoJo events, for Part 3 and Part 4, which are the only other ones that had feature festivals, we had a standard gacha version of the character and then a limited version. And for Giorno and for Jotaro, there was definitely an argument that you could have a standard gacha, a limited, and then another limited later. And I assumed that that's what they would do. They would give us a limited Giorno here, and then they would do Gold Experience Requiem later. And they are, it looks like they are going to be doing Gold Experience Requiem later, but we didn't get the standard gacha version of Giorno. So we've got this one as the limited, and he's a good unit. You can still do a lot of damage with him. I'm just not a big fan of Reversal. I'm just not a big fan. I feel like I can't get top tier damage out of it, except in certain situations, and I just feel like I don't put myself in those situations enough. I feel like there's such upside potential to Reversal. but for me it doesn't always live up to it. Another reversal unit, Kurapika. Actually, no, you're not. Yeah, you are reversal. You are reversal. Kurapika was double tap on Taiwan, reversal on JP. Just slotting here. Could actually move down. The only reason I say that is because the sprite is literally, they took off the jacket that the other one was wearing, the Kurapika we had before, and they made his eyes red. And the other one, you may remember, his eyes go red in his special ability. So they've not really done anything special for his sprite, and they've made that into a limited. So I would have preferred it the other way around if they'd have made the Crollo the limited, rather than the Crollo we did get as limited. But hey, you know, I'll leave him there for now. I feel like we need to fill up some of these lower ranks. We might have to move some people down. Because I know some of these are going to be going up high. Like Hiei. Oh, like it's there. It's around there. For now in S. For obvious reasons. Amazing character. Amazing unit. Oh, this is really tough. Let's go with Gotenks. I'm going to put Gotenks in C for now. I just don't really care about Gotenks as a character enough to make them a limited. Like, I get it. It's like Super Saiyan 3, you know, and it's kind of funny that we have Super Saiyan 3 Goku and he is so old that this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is like way better than him. But I just... Beyond the skills, I don't really care much for this unit. Even the animations weren't really all that for me. They were okay. They're alright. Speaking of animations, actually, someone we could put down here. The sprite looks fine, okay? The skills are fine, okay? Maybe the skills were a little bit on the lower end. I can't remember the exact abilities, but I remember being a little bit disappointed in his skills. But the main thing, his animation is fucking D tier, F tier. If I had an F tier, it's so anticlimactic. I'm hoping that they rework it significantly for the JP release. Actually, while I'm here, I'll do that. I'm gonna put him down there just because the price just completely invalidates everything else for me. It's way too much of a factor when the price is that high. Kenshiro, it might just be for now. He might move up. We're gonna review at the end. Hiko Seijiro is probably A as well. There's not a lot of negative things to say. Honestly, I could put Tezuka right next to him because I feel like, as far as units go, they fit in about the same place in my mind and in the same sort of place in game. So I would say put those two there. Let's see. Okay, let's go with... You know, actually, I'm going to move Yuno down. I think potentially his skills aren't as bad as I have them in my mind, but I can't justify putting him on the same tier as some of the characters I have in A, so I've moved him down. Let's go with... I don't really know who to go with. Doko. I'm just going to put Doko in B tier. I like the animations. I don't think... if I recall, his skills are actually pretty good. He's a reversal unit. But I don't like reversal that much. Actually, no, I might put him in C tier as well. Reversal, I'm just not a big fan of. I like it though, but again, like if the reversal was enough for me to bring Giorno down to B tier, then it's got to be enough to bring Doko down to C tier. That might be harsh. I think that's probably harsh. But when you consider the other Saint Seiya units, like, you know, I can't put him in the same tier. Yoriichi, maybe A tier. Normal attack damage boost, he's kind of in the same regard as Ichigo. Yeah, sure, why not? Bardock. I'm gonna put Bardock in C. I really like Bardock as a character. His special animation is okay. It's okay. I think the thing that lets me down is, like, you know, when we consider if someone deserves to be a limited, I'd say he's kind of deserving to be a limited, but in the context of the manga And the panel that they showed for us in game, like they had the page they showed and the panel they showed, it was the exact same panel, the only panel he appears in the manga. And it seemed kind of silly at the time to me. Cool character, a little bit silly. And his abilities are okay. I should preface that, but you can see there are other characters with good abilities down here. It's just... sorry, can't be. Tsunade, maybe B tier. First of her kind for being sort of like a healer limited. Taiwan exclusive character. She's probably going to be very different when she comes to JP. I don't know. Could potentially be... Because I think her skills are not that different from Athena's, but Athena seems better. I'm going to put her in B tier for now. I think B tier is fair. Like, really, at this point, it's just filling out the slots with the characters I have left. Like, some of these characters are good, but I feel like it's mostly just going to be a vibes here. For me, I don't really care. I think I've just discovered something. I don't really like dual units that much. I don't really like dual units that much. I like double tap. And unfortunately, dual units quite often have double tap. I just don't really care about them that much. Like, you could maybe say these guys up here because I like the special animation better, but I think in execution-wise, theirs actually isn't that bad in terms of animations. So maybe that's harsh. Maybe they should be here. I don't know. Maybe I was a bit harsh there. I don't know, but I'm going to put them in Z tier for now. Oh god, I've got some really good units left here. I'm going to say D tier for you as well. B tier, C tier. Oh god, B tier, B tier. I like the characters, I like the ideas, the special animations, it's pretty good. The skills in game are it's a very good hitter. It's a very good hitter. You got to blow my mind to be getting in these top tiers. You got to blow my mind. Kaido's also probably... I don't care about Kaido as a character. Actually, you know what? D tier. Special animation looks fucking stupid. Really tricky. Oh, Rayleigh can go a bit further down as well. Rayleigh can go a bit further down. Actually, no, they reworked his animations for JP and they look much better. I was thinking of the Taiwan animations just now. B tier then. B tier then. C tier. C tier. Maybe. I just want to get him on the board and then we can rearrange him. I like Carrot, so she can go in A tier. Itachi. Ooh, Itachi. Some of these might move up, actually. Some of these might move up. I think Itachi there for his skills. Bobo Pachinosuke. Very good unit. Very good unit. Endeavor. Just for the fact that he's not... he's not like a fire specialist, which he should be. D tier. God, I don't know if these last four. These last four are really tricky. I've got my character table up here. Let me take a look. Legendary Super Saiyan Goku is high damage to guard and balance class. Mainly used to counter Frieza, which he's good for. I don't really care that much. To be honest, kind of thinking down here, Stinky tier. The only reason I say that, the fact that his face is copied and pasted from this Goku, when it should very clearly have been made to be the classic art style from that original fight, and it's just a copy and paste of this face onto this face. Yeah, nah, for me that's low. That's low. I'll remind myself what Jiraiya does. Damage plus paint bubbles. Plus paint bubbles. Okay, okay. And 99% counter guard. I don't give a shit about counter guard. Maybe like C tier. Maybe like C tier. Who else we got? Who else we got? This is tricky. This is tricky. Dracula Mihawk. What's Mihawk saying? Damage to an enemy if they're special type. Additional damage, boosts his own special attack. 99% counter guard. I don't care about counter guard. I don't care. And then last one on the list is Kagura. Inflict damage, plus if the enemy has counter attack, additional damage, 3 turns boosts her own attack. It's okay, it's pretty good. Boost this unit's attack. For this unit's turn, convert bubbles to rainbow. I quite like her skills, to be honest. Yeah, you can go up there for now. Alright, what would I change here? What would I change? And the important thing for the meta of the video is I don't want any double rows. I don't want any double rows because it will knock my recording out of whack. I think I've been maybe a bit harsh with some of these units in A tier. I could maybe move. I use Ichigo all the time. I can move Ichigo up. Zenitsu. Zenitsu. Yeah. No. You know, I'm gonna move Kenshiro up. I think that's fair. I think that S tier is fair, in my opinion. Anyone between A and B switching places. I might actually be happy with those, to be fair. I might be happy with that A tier. I have genuine reasons why the ones in B tier don't quite make the cut for A tier, except maybe Itachi. Maybe I'm a little bit harsh on Itachi. Let me double check his skills. Inflict damage, boost this unit's attack, and reduce enemy attack. The counter guard. It's counter guard again. I'm always tempted to move him down. I just don't care about counter guard. He can stay in B tier. He can stay in B tier. I think I've been maybe a bit harsh with the dual units. I'm going to move Kageyama Hinata up and Naruto Sasuke up for the simple reason that at least their animations I really, really like. Goku and Vegeta, their animations are a bit disappointing for me. It's just too messy. There's just too much going on at once. In terms of the order that they're going in left to right, I think I'm pretty happy with that as well in S tier. In A tier, I'm pretty happy. I might move Kagura above Boba Pachinosuke. Tezuka above Hiko, just because I have Tezuka, I guess. I'm pretty happy with that. In B tier, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. The more I think about it, the more I want to move Itachi down to C tier. I'm such a counter guard hater. I'm such a hater. Have I been too harsh with some of these characters down here? Maybe. I could probably move Muzan up. I feel like it's justified Muzan, but Muzan could be top of D tier. Odin could move down a little bit. Kakashi's animation's gonna... You know what? Kakashi could go above Kaido for the simple reason that Kaido has had his official JP release. Kakashi hasn't. Kakashi's might get better. And Hashirama's only down there because of his price, so I think that's fine. I don't know. I think that's about it. I'm gonna, due to personal bias, I'm gonna move Suna up to B tier, and then that's it. We're done. So that is my tier list. Those are the characters that I most like in the game, in roughly in order, though, you know, that could change. But that's the 2020 Limited's ranked. We are going to talk about some of the other characters, not quite in this format, I don't think, but we're going to talk about some of the other characters and my thoughts on them in the coming videos. And yeah, video every day until New Year. Let's go, lads. I'll see you in the next one.